Hello and welcome to our After Action or Lessons Learned presentation for the United States federal government, presented by Jason Ard, Karen Ashcraft, Chantel Campbell, and Haley Carroll. This presentation is going to follow the following steps. First, we're going to give an overview of the incident as it occurred, our recovery operations, the benefits from the operations and communications, benefits from information sharing, and then wrap up with questions. The incident occurred in May of 2019 where an individual within the Human Resources Department opened a malicious Excel file containing a Revitron ransomware malware payload. This payload contained a script within the Excel file which, after prompting the user to both enable scripts and update the format of the file, downloaded malware to the system. This malware was downloaded from an external WordPress site and upon downloading activated the malware executable, which encrypted the files on both the endpoint system and upon the share, restricting access to those files from a number of users and triggering the incident response process. The system also contained several text documents containing information on how to both pay the ransom to decrypt the files as well as the files that were encrypted. Upon notification that there was an infection on our network, we first contained the system and the share, which comprised of two systems. Thankfully, Wireshark, a packet capture tool, was running passively at the time, and this was used to gain information about the payload that was triggered and the files that were downloaded, leading us to our investigation stage where we initially discovered the WordPress site where those files were housed, which gave us more clues on how to decrypt the systems that were afflicted with the ransomware executable. There were a number of tools that were used to understand the encrypted files, and our incident response team slowly worked through using tools like Offcrack, CryptTool, and Wireshark to understand the scope and to gain more information on the malware. We then moved to remediating the systems once we discovered a note on how to decrypt the system and the process needed to do that, as well as the recovery key needed to gain the unencryption tool. Once that was found and the system was decrypted, the ransomware and related malicious files were deleted or contained in a sandbox. We then initiated system recovery using backups, which were done thankfully in the last week, which allowed us to quickly recover operations within a short number of hours. Currently, the full scope investigation is still ongoing. The fallout of this was an increased user education program where all employees are receiving tailored cybersecurity training related to phishing and malware education. We also decided to implement a tips and tricks newsletter, which will be posted in the bathrooms and break areas for our staff to read, to give them an increased knowledge about cybersecurity threats, as well as just related articles or fun articles within the news. As previously mentioned, our recovery timeline allowed other machines within the same HR network to continue operation because they were isolated so quickly. The total machine recovery time was around 4 hours, with the full root cause investigation time of 5 days. We found that there were a number of things that worked really well during this operation. One was that Wireshark was passively running, which allowed us to quickly gain information regarding the malware payload and how it was executed to gain clues to remediate the issues and decrypt the files. Also, the incremental backups that we had done just the last week allowed for a quick